Howdy folks, welcome back to the Knock Mile Arc. We are resuming from Georgia exactly where we ended the previous video. We had a late breakfast, met up with some people at the base, and now we're going to continue on our journey. So it's the same day, literally 45 minutes later or so in the sim. Not the same day in real life, but in the sim it's the same day, and then 45 minutes later, that's how we're playing this out. The sun has come up a little bit, the fog is burned off, so you can see off the edge of the plateau and then the mountains in the distance. Those would be the Great Caucasian, goodness gracious, I even practiced, and then again I hit record and I forgot how to say it. Ryan Navion, like usual, we're going to continue this plane. The next flight, though, we'll do something different, just to mix things up. But we're going to continue our trek west. Today, though, we're going to the capital of Georgia. We're going to Tbilisi. How come I can't pronounce that? I'm sure it should be on the tip of my tongue. I'm not bad with geography at all. I see this stuff in print all the time. When I read things and study things, I see it in print. No problem. But then I try to say it, and I realize I should have practiced first. But anyway, or practice more. Anyway, Tbilisi, Georgia, the capital of Georgia. We kind of do have a flight plan today. Basically, it's VFR, but we do have a plan. We're going to leave this airport, which is the airbase, Shiraki Air Base in the plains. We're going to leave at 270 degrees until we intercept a VOR at 289 inbound, and then we will line up with an NDB depending on the weather. If the weather's favorable, we'll tune in NDB 285 and approach it at the runway heading, which we'll get in a moment. If the weather's opposite, then we'll not be able to use it, because NDB approach is the only thing I could find. It's not even a published approach. I'm just assuming based on the placement of the NDB, there's an NDB approach where you approach with the runway heading. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, that's how that stuff works. It's very simple. Alrighty, let's see. What are we going to do? That's it. That sets up our flight. Very, very straightforward and simple. So let's hop inside. And let's see here. We're going to check our fuel. I think we're going to refuel while we're at this airport, because this is going to be another long flight. I expect this to be pretty much the same length as the previous flight, but let's do not quite as much fuel here. Hopefully we'll take off by about 8:40 or so. Alrighty, let's see what is next. Parking brake set, and it is. Generator on, battery on. We can turn these lights off now or on. Can't tell because it's too bright. It was pretty awesome flying this thing at night though, wasn't it? We got the landing lights. We're going to get our weather. There's no ATIS, so we have to just read it. 3018. Weather did change a little bit from yesterday. Not much though. 3018. It's going to be like that. We'll light variable, so we'll just take off. What are we? Just back, turn around and take off on runway 31, just like we landed yesterday. Not a big deal. Our destination isn't in here. Oh, barely. It might be off to the side. No, yep, right there. There's our destination. We can barely see it. So it's going to be a longer flight than before, because the flight out here, we had both airports in view. See? Piece of cake. This is going to be... Oh, no, it isn't quite as long. Oh, never mind. The map just hasn't updated or refreshed for us. Actually, that's very short. Okay, never mind. It's not going to be that long at all, but we will keep the fuel that we have. Alrighty, light and variable. Set the barometer. Let's see, make sure my flight controls are reset, including the rudders, and they are very nice. Alrighty, let's go over here now. Carb heat off. Cowl flaps open. Strobe and position lights. Like, why? Let me reset this preset. Why is it like that when I really want these lights in there too? There we go. Strobe and position lights. Close the canopy. Like so. Alrighty, mixture rich. Props in, throttle a quarter. Check our fuel. It's way more than we need. Check the shut off. That's that thing and that thing. Fuel pump on. And push the electric starter. And we're rolling. Boom. Not rolling, we're running. Our engines are running. Fuel pump off after run smoothly at 800. It should. Yeah. Fuel pump off. Gradually increase to 1200 for engine warm up. we go. Very nice. Temperature to watch there, temperature to watch there. Next, decrease when RPM is it's at 150. We're not going to put that right now. Sync the gyros. There we go. That's Y on my keyboard. Make sure the flaps are up, and it is. Make sure hydraulic power is on. It is now. Lean the mixture and begin our taxi. So we're just going to head out here to the right. Move that mouse down. And back taxi, but because we're off-road, we got to give it a lot of throttle here to get off and get going. Come on. And we will use autopilot again so we can do some sightseeing. As much as I love to hand fly, we can't sightsee when we hand fly. It's a disaster. So we'll hand fly a little bit. Oh, come on. There we go. And then we'll use autopilot to sightsee. So, there, we're off the dirt. That being said, let's set up our autopilot. We're getting blown around here. Are you sure the wind is light variable? Let's set this to 270 because that's how we're gonna leave this place. Is that too? Oh, no. I'm gonna put it away. There we go. All right. We'll do a flaps up takeoff. We're not gonna do a run up because we did a run up 2 flights ago. Otherwise, let's see, what else can we do? Let's get our landing lights on now. It's a little early, but we're going to do it anyway. Fuel pump is on. Let's get it on. Ready to go. For takeoff here. Dome light is off. Note the time on the clock. We will when we get around the corner. Fuel will be rich. And that's all we need to worry about. We'll up at 70. So, note the time on the clock. Fuel rich, so we're ready to take off. Alright, we're getting ready to turn our corner, and then we're just going to roll and go for it. We're a little bit behind where we want it to be because we have to get to the capital for some official business. Alright, time on the clock, 9:35. Mixture is full, props are in, everything is ready to go. We are just going to roll out and goose it. Alright, here we go. Get ready. And away we go. Flaps up, but we're still going to take off at 70 or so. Oh, let's get centered. Wow, a lot of left rudder here. I don't know if I trust those winds. They seem a little bit stronger than they said. Alright, they're 75. Let's go. Let's go. There we go. Gear coming in. And hydraulic power off. And a fuel pump off. 1000 AGL. Yeah, we are getting blown around a little bit. Not a problem. Alrighty. Let's get up and over here, and then once you go over past the airport, we will turn to 270. Then we'll tune in our VOR. Let's climb a little more steeply though. Best rate to climb is 75, so let's trim this a little bit. Alright, fuel pump is coming off. We'll leave the landing lights on. Let's climb, come on. Slow down or climb a little bit. Alright, I'm going to bring back props and RPMs, or else we'll start on fire. We have a minute to do so. There's 27, and there's 22. There we go, 26 and 22 now, good enough. How's your rate to climb? We can climb more steeply than this. There we go. Alright, let's turn to 270. We're flying manually, by the way. We have not engaged autopilot, but we will in a moment. I just want to do a little bit of this by hand because it feels so nice. And there's 270 right on the money. Look at that. So now we engage autopilot. Go to heading. There we go. Oh, it didn't agree with us. We were off a little. Alrighty. Wow, it says we're way off. Oh, because I probably am a little off on this. Close enough. What are we at? 272. Good enough. Alrighty, we're gonna keep landing lights on, so we are all set. We gotta keep an eye on the props and the manifold, and then we'll keep climbing. I guess we're gonna climb less steeply than normal, which is fine. Alright, we'll engage altitude hold at about, I guess we'll do 6 grand this time since we're not going as far. Whoops, too far on the checklist. Here we go. Cruise checklist, keep an eye on the cylinder head temp. And then adjust cowl flaps as needed. That's your cruise. Simple as that. Just bringing back props as we go here. Are we ready to tune in that other VOR? Yes, we are. We should have already, actually. Alright, so we're leaving at 270, and then we're going to tune in VOR 113.7. So let's do 113. Oh, I'm not in the right. Where's the big arrow? There it is. 113.7. And we're going to do, what are we going to do here? 289. So there is 240, 270, there's 280, there's 290, and 289. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly our current heading at 270 until we intercept this. And then we'll take autopilot and we'll switch over to track. That's the plan. Very simple. So we can do this without the map. We can do this purely using radios. We could be IFR if we wanted to. But just to show you what this looks like, we're leaving at 270 until we intercept, and then we're going to fly this way. And providing the weather is light and variable, oh my gosh, there's 3 airports. I hope we land at the right one. Oh, good grief. That's kind of funny. Anyway, we can use the radial inbound to fly straight in because it's at the airport. We're going to try to use runway 31. Can we? Light and variable, yes. So if the weather doesn't change, we're going to fly straight in on runway 31. Now we're going to be coming in like at this angle because we're doing 289. So we'll fly like this with a little bit of dog leg. So the point is we're going to fly like this until we pick up this NDB. Since the weather favors it, we're going to tune it in. I don't even know where my ADF is. Tune ADF 1 to 211, which is not what my SkyVector said. SkyVector says 285. Interesting, because my nav data is up to date. Interesting. Oh well, I'm glad we used this. So we tuned it in. I don't know where it is on here. If it's even do we even have an ADF card? We might not. This might not have ADF. I never thought of that before, to be honest. There's ADF here. I'll find the card and I'll point out when I find it, because there's ADF here anyway. Maybe that won't work. The point being, no matter what, we'll take 289 in, and then if we do have an ADF, I find it, we'll adjust. So we can come in at 310, since it's runway 31. If we don't, we'll just come in, and then once we get a visual of the runway, we'll dogleg to the right. I mean, I guess I could set our VOR track, since NDB, okay. Change of plan. Since NDB doesn't seem to work or something, can't figure it out yet, we're going to change this to 31 or 310, which would be like that. That way we'll come in at runway heading because the VOR is at the airport, see? And then as we get a visual of the runway, we'll make a slight adjustment if needed. So there we go. Slight adjustment to the plans just because of the sim. On paper, my plan was fine. But anyway, that's what we're going to do. So we'll just keep heading due west until we intercept that radio. Very simple stuff. How are our things looking? Good temperature there. We can give a little more throttle here. There we go. Props are good. At 6 grand, we'll hit alt hold on the autopilot, and then we'll speed up. I need to find this ADF card. I don't think we have one. Even though it's a radio, I think that's a generic radio. You can put in X-plane. Because what do we have? We got our VOR card, fuel, cylinder head temp. Moving over here, we got airspeed, our heading, our compass. I can't remember what that's called. There's rudder control. I mean, this is all 6-pack stuff here. Engine stuff. Autopilot. I don't see an ADF card, so we're not going to be able to use that NDB. Bummer. We haven't done an NDB approach in ages. It's been a long time. If there is an ADF card, I'm missing it. Please tell me in the comments. I mean, I probably will research it by the time this is published, but I don't see anything for ADF. Nope, nothing. Okay. This isn't like a dual function, right? ADF and VOR, no. Okay, so we're just gonna do plan B, which is flying at a different radial, so we can see the runway. Piece of cake. The only thing we need is that elevation. Because I didn't get the elevation. Elevation is 1624. So we'll approach at about $2,000. Okay. Simple. Sightseeing for you. I don't need to say anything really until we start coming down and approach, because I'll just change once this line lines up there. I want to come over here and hit track there, and I forgot to hit our alt hold because I was looking for the ADF thing. So let's just hit alt hold now. I can come down, but it's tricky. I have to cancel autopilot and stuff, so we'll just stay like this. Good enough. I'm gonna keep an eye on the engine management. I'm gonna keep an eye on our navigation. Make the switch off camera probably. And I'll catch you when it's time to come down. Couldn't be simpler. Enjoy the clear skies that we had before. Alright, as gorgeous as this is, it is time to start coming down and fly an airplane. Look at that terrain. Because remember, after this there's a drop off and then there's the mountains. That's crazy. That is so awesome. I'm gonna have to look at pictures of this here in real life. And there's a little town. Okay, we gotta do some stuff. We have a ways before we connect with this, but we do have ATIS at our destination airport, so let's click on our airport and let's do ATIS. So 1, 3, 2. Let's see if I can do this right. Let's move this out of the way a little bit here and move you. So 132 800. So it's the big one, right? 132 800. There it is. I can't hear that. My airplane is way louder than the voice. And with my resolution, I can barely read it. Let's see. Arriving runway 13 right. Oh. Okay. That's opposite what we're doing. So we're going to have to fly around. So what we'll do is we'll fly towards the VOR. And then, because there's no ATC to vector us into a pattern, we'll fly towards the VOR as planned and intercept it. Then once you see the airport, we'll put ourselves in, because of these runways, we'll put ourselves in like a left traffic pattern. Alrighty. Ideally, we would aim for the NDB, and then we would go around. Well, not, I mean, planes are departing from here, so normally we would like turn now, and then ATC would vector us. But we don't have ATC, so we're gonna do the best we can. We're gonna use the VOR. Once you see the runway, we'll put ourselves in a left traffic pattern. Because it says right 13 right in use. Okay. Altimeter 3024. So let's come over here. Let's close this. Actually, 3024. I love this ATIS thing. It's so cool. 302 1 2 3 4. Because that'd be too much. Yeah, 1 2 4. Or 2, whatever. Whatever. All right, we're done with this. So runway 13 right. Let's turn that off because that's gonna get annoying. That's it. We're going to start descending soon. The airport's right there. Looks like. Yep. There's 1, 2. Where are all the airports? There's so many airports. There's 3 airports. Let's not land at the wrong one. We're about ready to intercept the VOR. So let's come over here and do VOR. Boom. That'll turn us, so we intercept this thing. That'll fly us straight towards the runway, which I think is going to be this one. We have 3 airports, or is it, no, see, we have 3 airports. How are they laid out? 2 next to each other and then a closer one. If we follow the river, it's after the river. So there's a river. So it's going to be over here somewhere. That might be it. That might be the other one. That might be our airport there. We'll see. Well, no, it's this one. Okay, because there's an airport here, there, then close. Okay, so it's this one. There we go. See, there's airport, airport, airport. Boom. We're going to follow this in, put ourselves into a traffic pattern. Pull out, I'll probably do a little bit of the work, straighten us out, and then we're going to just start descending, which I haven't figured out how to descend without turning autopilot off. If you pop Alt hold out and bring the throttles back, you would think it would descend, right? Because it's trimmed for that speed. But if I bring throttles back, let's see if it works. Let's see if it'll find our speed, or just gonna see it. No, it's just gonna slow us down. See, I mean, we're descending, but it's also slowing us down. Okay, so we need to turn autopilot off and descend by hand. At least it seems to be that way. But we're gonna keep our speed up. So I'm pretty sure this is our airport over here. So why did our VOR put us to the right? Yeah, that's, oh, because it really is lined up if you look at the big picture. Awesome. So we're just going to fly over this airport in front of us and use that to guide us into a traffic pattern to this airport. See how that's going to work. In the meantime, we have to come down. Airport elevation is 1,600, so we're going to aim for $2,000. Actually, 4 or 5. Yeah, let's aim for $2,000. And then we'll be ready to go. So I'm going to keep my speed up. I'm going to trim it down so we descend quite quickly. We're going to do a steep yet comfortable 800 feet per minute or so, maybe even 1,000. Maybe even 1,000 because we're really high. Can we look outside very quickly before we are done sightseeing so we can fly the plane? Look at that. I love that the auto gen looks gorgeous. Extremely high frame rates. The river, the terrain. So we're like in a valley on a plateau that's surrounded by a valley that's surrounded by mountains. I encourage you to look this up, the terrain up on the internet. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous terrain. Fun to fly in because we were below a lot of the terrain the whole time. Alright, what are we at? We're at 5,700. We got a long ways to come down. And we're coming down at a pretty realistic clip though. Alright, get ready for approach and landing. We already got the weather. Mixture full, props full, fuel pump on. Turn that fuel pump on. Landing lights are already on. Yes, they are. Hydraulic at 100 miles per hour, gear at 100 miles per hour. And then, as I said previously when we flew this plane, without even a checklist, you can see by looking at these gauges. 100 is hydraulics and gear. And then first set of flaps. 75 is your final approach. 55 is touchdown. 50 is nose down. So you just, as you slow down, you just follow your gauges. So again, hydraulic and gear, flaps, final approach, touchdown, nose down. Piece of cake, right? Shouldn't have to worry about a crosswind landing unless the weather updates on us. We can pull up the ATIS again. And it's still wind line variable, runway 13 right in use, 3024. I love that ATIS. I'm so glad I figured it out. I can't believe it took me many years of flight simming. Many years of flight simming to start using that. I don't see a right and left. I just see a big runway. Oh no, there is like an abandoned runway. That's a taxiway with all the X's. So it's going to be easy to spot. Look at that city. Look at the auto gen and all that. Oh my goodness. Look how gorgeous that is. It's like settled in this mountainous thing. I got to look up pictures in real life. That's incredible. So any runways in sight, we don't have ATC to vector our traffic patterns. We use our own traffic pattern. We're going to keep our speed way up until we're on a crosswind leg, and then we'll manage speed, gear, flaps, and all that stuff. But I'm going to keep coming down between 800 and 1,000 feet per minute, I think. I wish I could sneak in some sightseeing, but that would probably be a very bad idea. So we're just going to fly this in. Oh, look, there's another set of buildings there. Wow, this is so cool. The last time I flew an airplane, when I flew back from California to Minneapolis, we were lined up for 12 right, and they did a change as we were lined up. So they had us vectored around to circle around and land on the opposite runway, which it was amazing to be in a traffic pattern like this in a jet, in a 757, because even though it was quite a wide traffic pattern, you could still see the airport perfectly. It was right next to my window on my side. It was amazing. It was so awesome to see that. I loved it so much. It was so cool. Because you never really think about that, but you do have to do traffic patterns in a jet sometimes. Not a holding pattern, but like actual traffic pattern around the airport is really awesome. Alrighty, well, let's see here. 13 to 130 or so for the heading. Looks like we're gonna have to do a tight pattern. I think what is supposed to happen is you go over those mountains and you come in down this valley, but we're not gonna have that kind of time. I mean, we do, but we're not gonna do it. So we are going to have a very, 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 very short final, like crazy short final. So let's start slowing this down so we can get this going. We're at 3,900. I want to come down half that, or halfway down. If we have to go around, we will, and then we'll come out. We'll go out over here and come in through here, because this clearly is not a standard approach. We got to slow way down. Props forward. Slow this thing down. We should not go beyond that rail line. All right, here we go. Hydraulics out, or on, or whatever. Gear down. And let's see how we're going to do this. Get some throttle going for a set of flaps. This one. Flaps down like that. And we're losing a lot of speed. Let's follow these train tracks around, because we're their final. Oh goodness, that is going to be a short one. Uh-oh. weather just updated. Bad time for weather update. All right, let's kind of do an oval turnaround here. We're gonna stay halfway down to our final approach speed. I don't want to get too low because I'm going to lose sight of the runway. There's a runway there, I think. Okay, we're going to follow this and do a very tight turnaround here. Where is our runway? There it is. Oh, this will be just fine. Let's level off here till we get inside of the runway. And let's just gawk at all this gorgeous terrain and density. Oh my gosh, everything is cranked in the sim, by the way. All my settings are cranked except AA because it's not necessary. But yeah, look at that detail. Oh gosh, we look outside super fast. Oh, this is a bad idea because we have to turn on the final. Okay, here we go. Let's turn on the final. Get our speed down a little bit. Can't quite see our runway anymore. We see the other airport though. All right, here we go. Don't need to worry about crosswind landing. It's going to be a nice smooth landing with a very, very, very short final. Throttle's back because we're nosing down, so you need to descend and slow down. We got one red on the Pappy. That's good. Let's try not to land long. Let's try to land at the right spot, even though we have more than enough room. And the sooner we land, the longer the taxi. So because this is a major airport with a lot of traffic, in real life we would probably land more than halfway down just so our taxi is shorter. But we'll see. We're going to land how we normally would anyway. We got 3 red. Don't know why. I feel like we were kind of high, but there's a final approach speed. Everything is ready to go. And let's get ready here. Just smooth. Don't have to worry about crosswinds. We're just going to glide down. We're not in a hurry to touch down at all. Throttle's back now. Level off. Smooth it out. There we go. Boom. Nose up. Nose down. Gently. So are we going to make this first? Are we going to make it? Let's do it because we can. Ah, look at that. Gear color flaps coming in immediately. Look at that. Can I do this at the same time? Landing lights are off. Fuel pump is off. Note the time on the clock. Quarter after. So it was almost about a 40-minute flight. Actually, 39-minute flight. What do you need to do? Flaps up right away. Flaps already up. Note the time on the clock. Fuel pump off. Lean the mixture. Landing lights off. We did all that. We're leaning the mixture now. Now I just need to find a place to park. That was really funny how quickly we were able to land and pull off the runway. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That was kind of ridiculous, but we did it. We wanted to get out of the way. Like I said, in real life, we probably would have landed halfway down the runway or even farther so we can get off at that further taxiway in a hurry, but we were able to do it right away anyway. So where are we going to head? Let's see this view. Let's see. Looks like we want to go. I don't know where we want to go yet. This is a huge airport. Let's just taxi and see where we end up. We'll take Charlie here. And then we'll just see where we end up. I'm not sure. As soon as I find a spot, I'll pull off and that's where we'll land, or that's where we'll park. Looks like the closest we have to GA is right over here. I zoomed out, looked at the entire airport, and yeah, there's nothing but a bazillion jets. So let's just go here to the left and find a parking spot, and that's where we'll land. Yeah, there's some GA type stuff there. So we're just gonna go left here. Slow down a little bit with the crazy brakes. Let's see. Yeah, there's some spots here. Can we just go? Oh, that one's taken. Maybe it's kind of full. Yeah, it's kind of full, isn't it? It's like parking for a sports event. Wow, whoever designed this airport wanted to reflect how busy it is, huh? Where are we going to go? Where are we going to go? It's really hard to taxi outside the airplane. Looks like we got a lot of room over there. So, oh, there's a spot right here. Whoa, this is bus. Well, what the heck? I did not do that. What was that all about? Let's just park right here, and then they can move us wherever they want us. I know we're facing the wrong way, but whatever. This weather is updating like crazy. All right, here we go. Let's just stop right here. Leave it like that. Okay, parking brake is on. Hydraulics off. Which is that way. Strobe in position off. Let idle for 1 minute. It is cut off. Ignition off. Come on. And then battery and rate generator. Like that. And open the canopy. Simple flight. Just the way I like it. Going back to my roots where we do shortish GA flights. Oh, look at that cliff drop off. Look at that. I didn't even notice that when we landed. That there's this big drop off here into the valley of the other airport. That's crazy. But look how we landed. We landed right here in the TDZ, and then we slowed down and turned right there. Otherwise, we would have flown out, landed here, and then turned there, or just flown out, landed way down here, and turned out there. They do that type of thing. When you have small planes at big airports, you don't aim for here because you're going to get in the way. Oh, we could have gone over here and parked. What a gorgeous airport. Gorgeous everything. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen something like this in a long time in the sim. Yeah, we totally could have landed over here. Oh well, that's okay. We landed where we landed. Or parked, I mean. Yeah, see, look at all this stuff. Oh well, doesn't matter. This is a gorgeous area. I'm going to check it out in real life in photos and YouTube videos because I'm not going to actually go there in real life. I wish I could. But otherwise, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you're a big subscriber, thank you for your support. If you found my accent, please like, please subscribe, please share with your friends. Any questions, leave in the comments below. Any flight ideas, leave in the comments below. I added some more flight planning because this was my last pre-planned flight. I'm going to plan a dozen more and start flying them, and I'll see you then.